I'm Zach. I'm a museum associate, junior supervisor person here at the Vonnegut. Worked here for like 3 years, so I give like tours, I work the bar, work the front desk, try and help with some event planning here and there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm talking about the Hanging on Union Square by Hsi Tseng. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name, but it's kind of hard to find information about this guy. So it's this like absurdist book about this guy. His name's Mr. Nut, right? And he's this really poor dude in Greenwich Village during the Great Depression. And he views himself as one of those temporarily unlucky millionaires, as John Steinbeck put it, in that he's very poor but thinks, you know, his day to break it big and get rich is just right around the corner. But over the series of one night, he goes from kind of disgruntled capitalist to a radical communist activist. And it's very absurd, surrealist, humorous kind of takedown of like consumer and capitalist culture in America, especially during the Great Depression. The background of the author is very interesting. He's like this B-movie actor who originally lived in China, tried to immigrate to the Soviet Union in the 20s, but was rejected. So he just came to the US, went to Stanford University, was an activist in China against like foot binding, came over here. He was an activist for the Chinese community here in the US, here in the States, and a very just outspoken radical class activist as well. And all of that is present in the book. All of that is super kind of blown out of proportion in a way where everything in the book is very extreme and ridiculous. So it's a very like relevant tale, but it says it in such a unique and kind of a smartly stupid way, which I really like. Read it first, I think 2020. I follow Penguin Classics on Instagram, and sue me, but I do judge books by their cover, in that this cover looked really cool. And then when I read what it's about, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. Really into the political side of this, like the political angles in this. So it was just like a perfect fit for me. And I often go back to it as my political knowledge grows, it just becomes more and more personal to me. So. In my tours, I like to say that, you know, don't protest book banning just because it's book banning. But I recommend watching these banned books lists and reasons for book banning more as a kind of social metric in a way, where you can track what the outrage is of the day, what the victims of the day are, by what books are being banned. So right now, obviously, it's the LGBT community. All, you know, top 10 most banned and challenged books of, you know, this year, last year, are all by queer authors. You look back to Vonnegut's heyday, and that was a lot of anti-war sentiment. Obviously, it wasn't said publicly, oh, this is banned because it's anti-war. You know, you give these false, you know, surface level reasons for like, oh, the language is bad, blah, blah, blah. But during his time, a lot of it was class consciousness, labor issues, class issues, things like that, that the powers that be, so to speak, didn't want people talking about. And this is a very radical take on it, but, you know, plenty of people were victim to having their economic voices stifled and stuff like that. So.